welcome to 1 Minute Message. Today is January 9th, and the Bible verse of today is found in Psalm 40, verse 1, which says, I waited patiently for the Lord to help me, and He turned to me and heard my cry. Your 1 Minute Message starts now. What I'd like to look at first is waiting patiently. When it comes to waiting patiently, this scripture is saying, I waited and waited and waited and waited, with no sign at all that you're hearing my prayer or that you're setting something up so that way my prayer could be answered. That's the type of waiting that's being said here. And when we end up having something like that take place where we're waiting and waiting, we try to speed things along a little bit, try to help God to get something going, show us something, a sign that you're hearing our prayer. And many times when we do that, when we aren't patient, we disqualify ourselves because we are trying to take things into our own hands instead of leaving our prayers in God's hands. And what this scripture is saying is, He waited patiently, which is telling us that this patiently part is to preserve ourselves or to be steadfast or not disqualify ourselves from the very thing that we're praying for. That's the whole purpose in this verse today, and that's your 1 minute message. Now, what I would like to ask you all, if you would like to add into the comment section, is what do you do to help stay patient when waiting for God to answer your prayers? Like in our scripture that we had looked at, the psalmist waited and waited and waited. When we're waiting and waiting, what do we do? And if you write in the comment section below what you do when you are waiting and you're not seeing any signs. Do you pray? Do you seek help? Do you see if it's lining up with God's will? Or if you want, share a testimony about how you did wait and God did bless you. A perfect example is my wife. She waited for me, and she didn't disqualify herself. She remained faithful, and she's a perfect example of waiting patiently, and God blessed her with me. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I know that I'm a blessing to her, and she's definitely a blessing to my life. And that's just a testimony of how God is a faithful God who will hear the cry of the lonely heart, who will hear the cry of the broken spirit. And so I want to encourage you, share your testimony or write what you do while you're waiting. And thank you for watching. This is 1 Minute Message, and I'll see you tomorrow.